Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're excited to have you. We have invited you to this class, and we prepared this class just built around the idea that we live in a world where social media has it's a big part of our lives. Let's put it simply. Big part of the lives of the people that you are trying to connect with, and so we wanted to go through a few things. We created the class with that in mind, and how you can best connect with your clients, with your sphere of influence, and even with new people. So just by way of introductions, want to introduce myself to you and Sam. I'm Mike Tabla. I've been an entrepreneur for 18 years. I got my start as an electrical contractor, later moved into insurance, and now I do mortgages. And we're both Sam and I work here at Security Home Mortgage. We're loan officers. We're backed by a team of other loan officers. James is our branch manager. Great experience, great support we get from him as well. 20 years of experience there. Sam, let me talk about Sam for a minute. What Sam brings to this class is really essential. Sam has built a few different businesses, and she did it using social media. So she's got a lot of experience in that arena. And I'll be honest with you, I rely heavily on Sam in this whole arena in creating this class. We collaborated quite a bit. Interestingly enough, I come from the novice side of the spectrum when it comes to using social media, and Sam comes from more of the expert side. And so we built the class so that it could speak to both people. Me, who didn't know much before a year ago, didn't know much about social media, and Sam, who actually has built businesses using social media. So we both love to educate. We both love to help and serve, and so that's why we built these classes. Anyway, let's kick this off. I'm going to let Sam take it from here, and then we'll just kind of switch back and forth as we go through this.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike. Okay, so one of the biggest things we like to talk about when it comes to social media is consistency. If you want to be taken seriously, be consistent. This is with so many different things in our lives. Around here, we like to use the example of exercise. What good does it do to go to the gym for 5 hours on January 1st and then you don't go again until like November 1st? Are you going to see results? No. So looking at it in a broad spectrum, you have to take it bit by bit, and you need to be consistent. Sometimes that's hard, and sometimes that is a little bit overwhelming when we think about it. So what I recommend is finding out, okay, do I want to post 5 times a week? Do I want to post 7 times a week? Do I want to post twice a day? I mean, this is going to come down to you, and what does that look like for you? What does consistency mean to you? And sometimes you want to start off a little bit slower and build on that, because as you have probably noticed in your life, the things that you do consistently, you're able to build upon those things and take on more and more because things become a habit. So when I have taken so many courses over time with social media, Mike talked about how how I've built a couple businesses on social media. The 2 things that are never going to change when it comes to algorithms, you guys have probably heard that word, and you know that they're hard to conquer, I guess you could say. Be consistent. That's never going to change. That is always in your favor with algorithms, is consistency and organic content. So posting organic content and making sure you're posting on a consistent basis, you are going to see results. So when I say be consistent, post on a consistent basis, that might make you go, oh, gall, that is so frustrating, because what am I going to post about? So I like to talk about posting about 3 things that make you you. This was a huge aha moment when I attended a course about social media. It was such an aha moment going, oh my gosh, that simplifies things so much for me. Because I would sit down at my computer, at my phone, and say to myself, like, I want to connect with people on social media. And I would sit there and like, sky's the limit about what you're going to post about. So narrowing down what I could actually post about in that moment was super overwhelming to me. So when this idea was brought to me, I was like, holy smokes, this makes things 8,000 times easier. So rule of thumb, pick 3 things that make you you. In addition to real estate information you provide to your followers, you should also be posting about a few of your personal interests. By adding variety to your post topics, you will attract people with similar interests and keep things consistent for your followers. So for me, the 3 things that I like to post about are quotes, home decor, and jokes. I like jokes and I love inspirational quotes and I love home decor. So you will notice like in my post that that's my consistent theme, I guess you could say. But when I sit down at my computer and I think to myself, okay, what am I going to post about today? Or when I'm getting my calendar out and I'm planning out my month of the things that I'm going to post about, I know that it's going to be one of those 3 things in addition to mortgages and real estate and things like that. So I hope that that makes things a little bit easier for you. We can send you this graphic that you see here on our screen just to kind of help you get your mind going on what those 3 things might be. These were just things that I came up with. They can be anything. So think outside the box. What are 3 things that I'm super passionate about that make me me? And keep in mind too that not everybody is in the market to buy or sell at this very moment. But as you're posting about things that make you you and you're connecting with people on that personal basis, you will have so much better of a connection with them when they're ready and you'll be top of mind. Mike has an experience where he posts about volleyball because he loves volleyball. And he had an agent that was like, oh my gosh, I like this guy because he posts about volleyball, and they went to lunch and they connected. That's huge, right? It wasn't strictly about mortgages, it wasn't strictly about real estate. It was personal, and then they connected over that. So there's so many different instances where this will be the case, but people will connect with you on a personal level if you post about personal things. So, but with that said, I always get this question. I don't really like posting personal things on my business page. Do I have to? I think you can make a balance there. If you don't want to post a family photo on your business page, that's completely fine. But if you're passionate about hiking and you love like outdoors in Utah and you go to Moab often, post a picture of a hike in Moab and the location and just say, my family and I enjoyed this hike in Moab this past weekend. It was so much fun. I highly recommend it. It's still personal, but it's not a family photo or something like that. So you can still put boundaries on that if that's something you're not comfortable with. So there's just a couple recommendations there. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's going to stop the scroll on social media. Maybe you've witnessed this with your kids or someone you've been around, or when you're even at a restaurant, you see people just like scrolling their phone, right? We want to stop the scroll. That's the goal on social media. And there's so much data and proof behind the fact that videos stop the scroll on social media. When I say videos to people and multiple times talking to people about you should be doing videos on social media, they're like, you're kidding me, right? Like, I do not want to be doing that. Don't tell me I have to do videos. But the good news is you can like stop and start over and do all of those things. When I was building my last business on social media, everything was live. I did live videos, and there was a lot of times where I fell flat on my face and people just laughed with me, but they liked me more because I was relatable. It wasn't this perfect scripted thing that they couldn't relate to. It was very personable, and I connected with them so much more over that real connection. They saw the influx, or they heard the influx in my voice, saw my facial expressions. So just know that you're going to connect so much more. Think about us here on this video right now. You see our faces, you hear us talking. If you were just reading this on a screen, would there be as much connection? I don't think there is. So let me just read a couple of these statistics here. It says, oh geez, hang on. Go back. Our brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than text, and 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual. 93% of all human communication is visual. So just by typing words on your social media, you're not going to connect nearly as much as if you have a video, graphics, things like that. So keep that in mind. All right, Mike, you're up.
Thanks, Sam. I wanted to talk about active versus passive. I mentioned to you that I was an insurance agent for a while. And when I first got my start as an insurance agent, you know, we got a lot of sales training, a lot of marketing training, And this idea of active versus passive was one of the very first things that they taught us. And simply in a nutshell, what they said is you want to have 1 to 2 active marketing systems and 3 to 4 passive marketing systems. Now, I didn't initially know what active versus passive was. And so what I learned is an active marketing system is something where you are actively, and that's where the word comes in, you're actively connecting with people. An example of that, you go out to the pool, you're sitting there, the person next to you, you start chatting with them, and you mention to them you're a realtor. That is an active, and it initiates a conversation around that, and maybe that person is looking, oh great, yeah, hey, I've been thinking about buying a house, maybe we should talk. That type of conversation comes out of that. Active is also making phone calls. Nobody loves cold calls. Well, there are a few people out there, but that's an active system. Calling your SOI, that is active. So a good rule of thumb, 1 to 2 active systems. When we talk about passive system, that's where the social media comes in. Social media is a passive marketing system. And the reason that it is because in most cases, you're posting some kind of content on your Facebook page, and you are relying on people to click on it, engage with it, and ultimately give you a call or send you an instant message. Now, you can do some active marketing on Facebook. That would be you sending them instant message and trying to engage them that way. But if at any point where you're relying on them to come to you to take that first step, so to speak, then it's passive. Sending out a mailer, passive marketing system. We're relying on them to reach back out to us and say, hey, I got your mailer. The reason that I wanted to bring all this up, we are talking about social media today, not in an effort to try and change the way that you're marketing and say, well, I'm going to do social media exclusively to, and not do any other types of marketing systems. This is in addition. This is a good second or third marketing system to whatever active marketing systems you already have in place. One thing we love about social media is people will come and, you meet somebody. Let's say you meet somebody in that active way. You sit down and you chat with them at the pool, like I said, or you're in the grocery store and you're talking to somebody in line, and you give them your card. And what do people do? They go look you up on Facebook. What kind of realtor is this? What are they interested in? Do they like volleyball, or bowling, or whatever it is? I mean, these are things that people are looking for. They want to know if you're the type of person they want to do business with, and can I trust this person? So social media provides that kind of an outlet as well. All right, Sam, go to the next one. I want to go over a few statistics. How important is social media? And so this first, on the top left here, we have how much time do people spend on social media? Average of 3 hours per day. Now, there's obviously always outliers in a statistic. Some people may spend all day long on social media, and I've met those kind of people. And some people, like me, before a year ago, I never spent any time on social media. So there's always outliers, but on average, people are spending 3 hours a day. So that helps us kind of think to it in our minds a little bit. How important is this? People are using it. It's important. The next question is social media users. It's interesting because we look at the baby boomer generation. These are 55, 65-year-old people on up, and do they actually use social media? Well, look at the statistic here, 48% of them. I talk to a lot of people and they're like, yeah, I get on social media. That's how I connect with my grandkids, because they're on social media. The baby boomers have understood that that's the way that their grandkids want to connect. And so they are going and meeting their grandkids where their grandkids are. And just as a side note, you ever take your kids to a party? And I've done this, and I'll take my kids to a party, a little family gathering, whatever it is, and I'll sit there and I'm just chatting and having a good time and talking to people. And my kids are like, can we go now? Right? My kids don't necessarily want to connect in the way that I want to connect. They want to connect in a different way. This is how, and as you move up the chart here, 77% are Gen X are on social media, and then 90% of millennials. My kids beg me all the time, Dad, can I get a Snapchat account? Can I get a, whatever. They're all about this. This is the way the kids want to connect. So what do? Do we connect with people in the way that we want to connect with them, or do we connect with people in the way they want to be connected with? So that's a question we have to answer in our minds. How important is Instagram? Instagram is a growing platform, huge platform. Not as big as Facebook, but it's growing. You can see this statistic here, the 150 million in January of 2017, up to 500 in 2019. Now with COVID, that has grown substantially since then. Still not big as Facebook. That's why if you're going to have to choose between one of the two, if it's too much, if you're like me a year ago and social media is overwhelming, managing two platforms was an overwhelming thought. Stick with Facebook, keep it simple. If you've got the bandwidth, the capacity to do more, Instagram is an awesome platform to use after that. 3.5 billion people use social media on the planet. That's half of the people in the world are using social media. And I think this is important to keep in mind. Even people that live in third world countries are using social media. They've got their phones. I've got a buddy down in Colombia, and he'll connect with me on his phone. He doesn't even have a computer. He's got his phone though. And people are using, that's what people want to do. They want to stay connected, and they use social media to do that. So just these statistics I think are interesting and helping us understand what the value is and how important social media is. Sam?
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Mike. So as you guys can tell, we're kind of trying to convince you why you should be using social media, but now we are also going to be showing you a little bit of like the back end of things and how you want to make sure that your Facebook page is set up. This is kind of a one-time deal, so if you need help with setting this up and this is overwhelming to you, please reach out to Mike or myself. We can help you guys get this set up. So once everything's set up correctly on the back end, excuse me, you don't have to go back and like fiddle with the settings. It's all set up. You basically just need to start posting from then on out. So I'm going to go through the back end a little bit today. I'm going to show you guys that side and just show you what does that look like? What should that look like? A good Facebook header and things like that. So first I'm going to show you, give me just 1 second here. Switching screens. We're going to start with Mike's Facebook. So good. Can you see that? Mike, can you see that? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So this is Mike's Facebook page. As you can see, it says Mike Tabla Mortgage. He has his header here. This looks super nice. There's all of his contact information, his NMLS, a headshot. Just looks really nice, really professional. One thing I really want to point out to you right here is that it says Mike Tabla Mortgage. When someone goes to Facebook and they're searching for you, they're not going to know if you are pristine real estate or whatever, right? Like people want to be able to search you on their social media and find you by name. So if you want to have like Mike Tabla Elite Team Mortgage, fine, but make sure your name is in there so that you are searchable on social media. When they just search right here on Facebook, they want to be able to search your name. So as we scroll down, you guys can see right here, he has these tabs. There's home, events, reviews, videos, and more. So you can see what people have. His is set to reviews right here. You can see that people have reviewed him. This is the main homepage. It shows you right here where he's located, a little bit of a bio, people who have liked him. There's a direct link to his website. You can send him a message. There's his email address. He's always open. These are the services he provides. So there's just like a lot of great information right here that you can come to his page, get his contact information, see if people recommend him. what people's experiences have been with him. So that's what visitors will see when they come to your page. Now we're going to go to mine. So this is what it looks like for you. So when you come to your page, since you're the admin on the page, this is what you'll see. So there's a bunch of editing options for you. So I also have my header here, a headshot. Sam Williams Mortgage is what mine's called. And this is what, like, see how you can see, like, how to create effective posts. So there's a bunch of different editing options here. What I'm going to focus more so with you guys today is on this side. So we're going to go over here on the left side. We're going to go to settings, and then you'll have a bunch of different options here. In the generals tab, I just want to make sure that you guys go section by section and edit these to your preferences. There's profanity filters, there's messages, there's all sorts of things here. So this is going to take you probably 5 minutes to just go through and make sure that you have this set up correctly. I'm not going to go through those with you today, but just make sure that you do go through those. We're going to talk a little bit about messaging. This is a feature on Facebook that I really enjoy. Right here where it says starting a messenger, start a messenger conversation. So show a greeting. This is usually set to on. But I think, anyways, I've been on my page a little bit too long and haven't signed in. So when I come into my page, or someone comes to my page, when a visitor comes to my page, this automatically pops up on, if they get to my Sam Williams Mortgage page, this comes up. It would say, hi, Mike. Thanks for visiting my page. Please feel free to reach out to me if there's anything I can help you with. It's just like an automatic, hey, reach out to me if there's any questions you have. I'm here for you. A little bit more personable is having also an automated response. So to set that up, you just click on setup. There's two options here. One is going to be an away message, and the other is going to be an instant reply. As you probably know by working in the real estate industry, we are never away. So I have my away message set to off, and then I also have set up an instant reply. This is what my instant reply is. So if someone were to say just hi, Sam, or if they were to say, hey, I have a couple of questions, this is what would automatically come back to them. Hi, it calls them by first name. Thank you for reaching out to me today. I look forward to speaking with you soon. For immediate response, please feel free to email me. So it gives all of my contact information right here. There's my website, phone number, email address. People know probably that you're not always watching your Facebook messages, and that's understandable, but this is a great way. If they do need immediate attention, that they have all sorts of ways to contact you if that's the case. So we're going to go back here to messaging. We finished that up a little bit. You guys can kind of play with those if you want to set up a greeting and an instant reply. Next, we're going to go to page info. This is where you guys saw on Mike's page what his page name is called. There's also the username. Mine's set up to be the same. A description of what you do, the categories that you work in. So this, you can add a bunch of different categories here. My phone number, email address, website, location. So this is where all of your contact information is going to be. Like I said, it's kind of a one-time setup, and you can come back and edit these later, but really you don't have to. You just set it up once and you're done. The areas that I work in, you can add all sorts of things here, cities, neighborhoods, all the things. So there's always open. I recommend that so people know that they can contact you at any time. And then as you scroll down, you'll see all of these different options here. Templates and tabs I want to talk a little bit about here. When you first set up your business page, it will default to a services tab. So it even says here, it recommends you do a service tab. But since you're a business, I recommend that you set it up as a business page. So you'll just come in here and switch which type you want your template to be. There's all different ones you can see here, but the way that they're set up is a little bit different based on which template you pick. But I highly suggest you doing a business since you are a business. Down here is where we talk about those tabs. So as you guys saw on the top of Mike's page, home, events, reviews, videos, all of those things. There's a couple of these that are standard, but other ones that you can use, whether you want to turn these on or off. Reviews, I highly, highly suggest that you turn your reviews tab on. The reason I say that is because why do people shop on, I shop on Amazon, probably a little bit too much, but I shop on Amazon because I know I can go and look at the reviews. Sometimes I'm at the store even, and I'll be picking something out, and I hurry and look it up on Amazon to see what the reviews are, and then I'll buy it in the store because I'm right there. But the reason why is I want to see what people think about it. And like Mike talked about, Your Gen X, your millennials, they are going to want to see what people are saying about you and why people recommend you and what it's like to work with you. So make sure your reviews are set to on and that you're also asking people for reviews. Think outside the box here. Talk to your favorite title person. Ask them for a review on your page. Talk to your favorite mortgage person. Ask them for a review on your page. And coworkers or your broker, you could talk to a handyman that you always reach out to, or a person who stages your houses. So think outside the box, but especially people that you've worked with and done transactions with that really can give you a good review and tell people why they recommend working with you. All right, so you guys can see there's all these sorts of different options. Here's your options to turn it on or off, and then those will just be set to your page. We don't really use event ticketing too much, so I'm gonna skip over that one. But over here in notifications, there's different options to how you want your notifications set up. If you want notifications set to on, so make sure that you do have your notifications set to on, because you want to know if someone's commented or asked a question or sent you a message. So make sure your notifications are set to on. You can customize that a little bit here, but make sure you're getting notifications so you know when to reply to someone's comment or someone's message, things like that. Okay, so as you go down, you can see that there's just tons of different options. I'm just going to talk a little bit about two more of these. So page roles. If you have someone that helps you with your page, if they kind of help you, you can just add them here. It's super simple, and then you'll see down here who has existing page roles. And then one more thing I want to talk about is people and other pages. On people and other pages, you can see who has liked your page and when they liked your page. When you hover your mouse over a certain person, don't click on it, just hover your mouse over and you can select to message the person. So as you see people come in and like your page, just shoot them a quick message and just say, hey, thank you so much for liking my page. If there's any questions, let me know. It's just a nice one more touch, right? It's a little bit more of an active marketing thing there. So, okay, so as you guys can see, there's more, but we're not going to go over all of that today because it can get a little bit overwhelming. I hope that wasn't too overwhelming, but then again, we're just trying to convince you guys, tell you why we should be using social media, and talking to you about a little bit of how-tos, but hopefully not too much that we overwhelm you. Okay, hang on, let's see. Okay, can you see my screen? Is it good?
Yeah, change the display setting again.
Oh. Oh, lovely. Okay, is that better?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna go.
Yeah, last thing we want to talk about here. If you're like me, the first time I saw what Sam just went through, it was like, I mean, there was so much information there, and I couldn't possibly absorb it all, much less go and duplicate it by myself and try and pick through those things. So what we do is we offer a one-on-one. This is done through Zoom. Let us know if you don't have a business page set up, or if you have one, but you want to make some tweaks to it and you're not really sure what it should look like. This is where we come in. Let us help you make that look good. If you don't have a nice, pretty looking header, you know, at the top of the page, you know, with your picture and your company logo, we can help you design that as well. This is just something, you know, obviously we're looking to connect with agents. You know, let's not make any qualms about that, right? That agents are the lifeblood of the real estate business. We're looking to connect with agents, but we want to try and do it in a way that we can add value. And so this is one of the ways that we have come up with. We've got some expertise here. Sam a little more than me. We've also got some marketing people on our team that help in these one-to-one settings so that we can get you tuned up the way that it needs to be. The next thing I want to tell you about is we're doing a class on the 20th. Actually, we do these classes from time to time. Our next class is going to be on the 20th. If you're watching this recording and this happens after the class, no big deal. We do put these on, you know, periodically. The purpose of the second class, this first class is to help you get your page set up and kind of get the basics done, all of the one-time things that need to happen. Class number 2 is, you know, if I had 15 minutes, if you're like me and I'm not on Facebook, you know, 3 hours a day, that is not me. I mentioned that statistic. That's not me. If you've got 10, 15 minutes a day to dedicate to Facebook or Instagram, or what should I do while I'm on there? What's the most important thing? I mean, just going on to Facebook and scrolling down doesn't necessarily get you anything. It might be fun, maybe that's the part you enjoy, but there are some things that you should be doing, and that's what we will cover in class number 2. We have a third class as well, and we can talk about that later, a class on videos, but it's a 3-class series that we do designed to kind of move you through some of the more important things to do on Facebook and how to connect with people. We have a Tuesday morning rates email that we send out. A couple of things about this. As a realtor, it's a good idea to kind of understand where the rates are. I mean, your clients are going to ask you about this, right? So we send out weekly what those rates look like. You can talk to your clients a little more educatedly, right? If that's a word, educatedly, about what that looks like. What the rates are on a few different products, and whether it's a home that they're buying for themselves to live in, or whether it's an investment property or second home. We've got some different rates on there. We also put a mortgage tip on there, and that can be kind of cool because, again, you've got this business page and you want to try and connect with people and educate them. Real estate doesn't have to be the only thing you talk about. You can talk about, from a mortgage perspective, we talk about different things about what a person in a certain situation might qualify for, and you know, some do's and don'ts, and of course we put some funnies on there. We want to make it enjoyable, so at the bottom of the page there's some funnies on there. Homebuyer class. This is a cool way to connect with your sphere of influence. If you got 600 people in a database and you're wondering, how do I reach out to these people? Maybe you do a mailer, maybe you do an email, but what would you do if you wanted to be a very active? We talked about the active and the passive system. I want to have an active system. What if you called them up and say, hey, I'm putting on a home buyer class. It's some education around buying a home. Would you like to come and be my guest? That's a different question than calling up somebody and saying, hey, are you looking to buy a house by any chance, or can I help you? Those are two different conversations. One, you're inviting them to do something and you're providing them with some value because there's some education around it. Maybe there's a dinner involved, whatever we work out. Whereas on the other hand, you're asking them for something. And so those have a different feel. It's an easier call to invite them to something. And lastly, we do CE classes. We offer these throughout the year, off and on. If you're interested in that, obviously just let us know. We will send an email out from time to time and it invites you to come to a CE class for your, we've all got to have real estate hours, right, for our licenses. So that's it. That's it. That's the end of our presentation. I want to thank you for coming. And then if you have questions, reach out to Samurai. We're here to help. Our information was displayed at the beginning of the slide. Just back up if you want and give us a call or a text or an email, however you want to. You can even go on Facebook and send us a direct message, right? So thanks, everybody, and have a great one.
Thanks, guys. See ya. Where do my thing? Oh, what did I do? Can you see? Am I still sharing?
You're still sharing and you're still recording. It's great. Now we're checking your emails out.
You are?
Yeah.
Look.